Welcome, everyone. This is a heck of a lot better than most of the 2 p.m. meetings we've been having for the last 2 months. Yeah. Thank you all for coming, and thank you all for coming to support Jeremy. We actually have a process we need to go through. It is a public hearing, so the board clerk, and as she always does, I've got my entire list of things I've got to cross off here before, and I would invite everyone that once we are done, we want to invite, of course I'm assuming the board approves, we will actually be able to do a swearing in here that will then take effect on, I believe, the 29th. Is that correct, Madam Board Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Effective, says it right there.
Yes. Did you want a brief report first?
Excuse me?
Did you want a brief report on this first?
We would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. The item before you now is to conduct a public hearing to consider applicant for appointment to fill the unexpired term of the Mariposa County Sheriff or Public Administrator. This is the third phase of this process, and as the board will recall, on November 17th, you approved the application packet and you set the application deadline. On November 18th, the press release went out to surrounding counties, and that included Madera, Fresno, Merced, Stanislaus, and Tuolumne counties. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything in there. And on the same day, the press release and the application packet went to the sheriff's offices in those same surrounding counties, as well as to the California State Association of Sheriffs. On December 7th at 5 p.m., which was the deadline for applications to be submitted, we had the one, which is the one that you are about to consider. We are following a process that the board approved for specifically to fill vacancies of elected offices. You do have the procedure in front of you, as you noted. This is going to be a significantly streamlined process, however, because part of that procedure is also a means to winnow down and eliminate some of the applicants. So for our purposes, we're going to be going from number D, which says board deliberation. Once the chair senses consensus of the board, then you're going to go down to 3, the third one from the bottom, number 3, which is to invite board action to formally appoint the finalists. Noting the effective date, which, as you've already said, is December 29th, 2020. And any other conditions that the board may impose during your deliberations. And once that's done, then you're going to direct the clerk to cancel the second public hearing, and then also we can follow through with the oath of office. So unless there are any questions from the board, that concludes my report, and I would ask the chair to go ahead and open the public hearing and then take public comment and begin the process.
Thank you. I'm sure everyone's going to be disappointed that we're not doing the 3-hour version. So I will open the public hearing, and the first part of this, a little different from other hearings, is the chair shall open public comment, which will be subject to the board's normal speaking rules, which is the 5-minute. So I would open public comment on this item for anyone that we don't have anyone online. So, well, we have Steve Dalo online. Let me check with Steve as public comment. Any public comment on the telephone line? Anybody know what he said?
He said he's just here to watch you and make sure you don't mess up.
Well, yeah, he's concerned.
That's his job. Thank you. Would anyone in the room like to opine on this action?
Don't be that guy.
Oh,
here we go.
Hey,
set that timer right now. Right now.
This is going to be very brief. Pete Judy, Chief Probation Officer. I submitted my letter to the board. I'm sure you had a chance to read it. I went through the packet and noticed every sheriff that I've worked with since 2000 was in there, except for Brian Mueller, didn't see him, but we can't find him anymore. But, including Roger Matlock, who was a family member, who was really responsible for even me coming here. So every sheriff that's been here, that's set the standard for the years that I've been here, and certainly for years before that. Very high standard. My department's excited that Jeremy's, we assume is going to be picked, and we're looking forward to working with him and continuing the fine tradition that the previous sheriffs that I've known have set in this county, and know that he will not only reach out, but set his own higher standards and goals, and he'll lead that department into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Whoever you are, it could have been me, Judy.
There was also.
Who was a fast man?
Well, board, good afternoon again. Doug Bellamy, Sheriff Coroner, for a few more days. Chief Judy, thank you for your comments. Board, I also have submitted a letter of recommendation for Undersheriff Jeremy Briese to be appointed by the Mariposa County Board of Supervisors. And so I won't take too much more of your time, other than you know how proud I am. My family is of the Mariposa County Sheriff's Office are professional employees that represent the office in all capacities. All of our law enforcement partners that we work with, and our federal, state, and county partners that we all partner with every day to make Mariposa County, if not one of the safest counties in California, possibly the nation. This is obviously a result of much dedication and professional work by our employees and also the community. Again, this is an interesting time for me personally, but I feel ready to step aside and let new energy take charge, and Undersheriff Jeremy Briese is the right guy for this board to choose. Jeremy's been my undersheriff for 3 years, worked for the department for over 2 decades, and he has presented just a tremendously professional and successful product for this community. I have absolutely no doubt that he will lead the Sheriff's Department to the next level, do so with integrity, with honesty, and transparency. So I'll leave it at that. But it's been an honor, and of course I wouldn't step aside if I didn't have the utmost confidence that I would be leaving you in fantastic hands. So thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta control that guy right there. Morning board, or afternoon board, Steve Ward, Mariposa County Fire, Cal Fire. So, as Chief Benedict, or Chief, as, well, I guess he was at one point too. As Sheriff Benedict was speaking, about the community, one of the things that, this potential swearing in, hopefully that's gonna happen here shortly, what that does is that, as far as Mariposa County goes, and I can speak on behalf of the fire side as a cooperating agency that we work consistently with our fine sheriff department, is the community aspect of it, and the fact that the consistency from the leadership, knowing that is going to take or stay consistent and forge into the future with the relationships that don't have to be forged because they've already been made. So that's something extremely important and something to consider, that our relationships within all ranks of the department, especially with Undersheriff Briese, we've known him for a really long time. Most of our local fire folks here have also grown up around him, and just what an outstanding person with integrity that we're gonna have here to continue the fine leadership that's already been established. With that, we just wanted to express our overwhelming support.
Thank you very much, Steve. No. Come on, Jim, it's not like a week, we don't.
You can use the next year.
Is it on?
No,
It's off.
there you go.
Technology. Jim Allen, retired, thankfully. In regards to Jeremy, I just want to mention, because of COVID, I know there's people that wanted to be here that aren't here. You know, going back to the sheriff that Jeremy's been involved with, starting with Roger Matlock. I mean, Jeremy was in search and rescue then. And Sheriff Richards actually was the sheriff that hired Jeremy. And I still remember Sheriff Richards very happy because he finally got someone local from the Indian community, and he knew what Jeremy would do. I mean, he pegged him right off the bat where he was going to end up and where he's going to end up today. And after Jeremy started working, there was no doubt. There's only certain people you see in an organization that you know will rise to the top. And he is it. I mean, Doug was also. And of course, we knew Jeremy would be next because we knew how Jeremy acted, his work ethic. Not only that, you know, you guys go to fundraisers and you're involved in the community. Now, Jeremy and his wife have been doing that since he was a deputy. Very few do that. So he was setting the stage 20 plus years ago to be where we are today. So, of course, I'm very excited for him and his family because I know he's going to be the next great sheriff of Mariposa County. So, thank you, board, for doing this, and hopefully we will make the right decision. And Jeremy is going to be an outstanding sheriff for Mariposa County. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, last call. All right, I will close public comment. At this point, each applicant is to be afforded 3 minutes. I don't know why these guys get 5 and you only get 3. That sort of got past us in the rule setting here. So Jeremy, your podium is yours.
So, before I get started, if I may, I have received 2 additional letters of reference or recommendation, if I can give to the clerk. It's from the Southern Sierra Miwok Nation as well as Tyson Welcome Ethos. I think I have left something in there. That's okay.
Is there something I know you need?
Just his speech.
We're fine. And I'll try to keep this to 3 minutes. And first, I want to thank everyone for being here. It's pretty, I don't want to say I'm nervous, but I am nervous because I'm nervous with joy. So good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. Hello, Mariposa. I'm Jeremy Briese, your current Mariposa County Undersheriff, and I've held this position since 2018, managing the day-to-day operations for the Mariposa Sheriff's Office. I work side by side with the Sheriff and the men and women of this agency to continue to serve and provide the best public safety to the residents and visitors of this county. If chosen as your appointed sheriff, I will continue to provide the best public safety to our residents and visitors. And to truly achieve this, we as a county and a community need to consistently work together. The uniqueness of each community that makes up Mariposa must be considered when creating a safe and healthy community. I will make myself and this department available to be actively involved in all the communities in Mariposa County. My staff and I will be accessible in your communities to listen and to address issues and ideas. I believe in transparency and community policing, and as a team, we continue to always try to improve and move towards modernized policing, which together we can do this through positive dialogue. Mariposa is my home, and I have encouraged our staff, including myself, to be involved in other programs outside of our office. Volunteer programs such as youth sports, community outreach like the Lions and Rotary, youth clubs and boosters, and many community boards. One that is a personal accomplishment for me was being elected as a board member, protecting and preserving my family heritage for the Southern Sierra Miwok, Mariposa County. I have served Mariposa in a law enforcement capacity for 20 years, starting as a reserve deputy sheriff and first being sworn in by Sheriff Pelk Richards. I have worked as a patrol deputy, a field training officer, a detective, before being promoted to the rank of sergeant by Sheriff Jim Allen. During my 9 years as sergeant, I held positions supervising patrol, field training, investigations, and served as the administration sergeant. When I was promoted to the rank of captain by Sheriff Doug Bedewies, I managed the public safety division for the sheriff's office. In this position, I worked hard to improve areas such as recruitment, creating new programs that would allow rooted locals the opportunity to start their careers with the sheriff's office. I have been faced with major critical incidents in our county, including officer-involved shootings, major fires, floods, rock slides, and most recently the pandemic. These incidents have helped strengthen our agency and our community, and as rough as they may have been and still are, I feel that they have continued to all make us stronger. As I said earlier, in 2018, Sheriff Bedewies promoted me to my current rank of Undersheriff of Mariposa County. Outside of managing the day-to-day operations and building and balancing the department budget, through positive leadership, we have implemented in-car computers so deputies can remain in the field. We have implemented body-worn cameras for every patrol deputy to uphold our goal of transparency as just a few examples. I have mentioned each past elected sheriff because they have helped mentor me, they have believed in me, and supported me throughout my law enforcement career. The duty to serve this county and lead the Mariposa Sheriff's Office has been a rewarding honor, and I thank you for this time and opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. If you would hang on there, because we have a period where supervisors can ask any questions of the applicant.
Yes, sir.
I don't have a question. Yeah, I always, well, a question or a comment. In this case, it's a comment. And I just want to compliment you on the work that you did on the budget. On the last round, it was obvious that you put a lot of thought into not only the numbers that were in there, but also the presentation of it. So obviously your heart is into doing a good job, and I commend you for that.
Thank you very much.
Supervisor Jones.
No, I have one question, but I'd like to make a comment. I'm tickled to death to have you here and you're replacing a gentleman that I think he ran and came to a fundraiser at our house a number of years ago. And I hope to get to know you better. But what do you see as one of your biggest challenges with the coronavirus and with everything else?
Well, I see the challenges right now is, the community divide and also budgetary restraints for the county. But in your packets, I have included, kind of my statement, and my very first word in that statement is safety and transparency, professionalism, and community. I think if we work together and we fall back on my lane as the sheriff and law enforcement for this county, that when we have these tough decisions, we can't jeopardize those areas. But having transparency and having open dialogue amongst county agencies, with the public, so they can see, what we're really working with, and, that we are doing our best and putting our best foot forward, will really help those challenges, because we're gonna have challenges, and I accept that, but I think open dialogue and working together will be able to overcome those challenges.
Thank you, and I think you're the right person for the job.
Thank you, sir.
We do have board deliberation to come, so there's more options to speak, but go ahead.
I'm not gonna deliberate yet, I just wanted to heap on some accolades myself. pretty much everybody in this room knows that I joined search and rescue when Pelk Richards was sheriff, and we've been looking towards this day for a long, long time. And I just wanted to say I'm happy for you, Jeremy. I'm proud for you, and pretty excited. That's all I'll say right now.
Thank you, Supervisor Walker.
Yeah, thank you, Chair and Jeremy, thank you for coming in for this wonderful day. It's nice to see local boy makes good, and I appreciate that. We wrote some good grizzlies here, so I'm glad you're here, and thank you for your work with the American Indian Council. That's appreciated. They do some good work here, and your record speaks for itself. You and your family are even more important than that. So your contributions, you and your family's contributions to Mariposa County are exemplary and greatly appreciated. So I look forward to supporting you in making you the next sheriff of Mariposa County.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, well said. Jeremy, I think we've shown we don't have any particular questions for you, so you're welcome to relax and allow us to deliberate here and get on with the show here.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. So at this point, I will invite any board discussion. And then when we agree that we're done with discussion, we can look at action. So, since you all have discussed already, I'm reminded as we are here of when Brian Mueller came in, announced he was resigning, and said that he had wanted to, he strongly recommended the board appoint Doug Benoist. And obviously that happened, but it was at that point, and all of us remember, Doug, what year was that?
Just after winning the election, so it would have been 2010, October of 2010.
So we were very optimistic about what Doug would do, about Doug's history. Many similar things were said. We're all very proud of where Doug has brought the department. He's put his life into it, and he's a little subdued as he contemplates moving on. But I know particularly that he is extremely proud and couldn't make that decision without the consummate trust and optimism he has in you, your leadership, and the department. And that doesn't mean, it certainly doesn't mean doing everything the way he did it. Your department, your team. And we know that some of the things that were done routinely before may not get done again, and other new ones you'll bring on. You never stay the same. You either get better or you get worse. And so we have total optimism and confidence that you will be on a continual improvement and go from good to great, or if we're great to whatever's beyond that. But consummate faith in you, Jeremy, and it's an honor for the community that you put yourself in this position, because we up here know, to some degree, the demands that it puts on you and your family. And we appreciate that partnership, and we really see it the board sees it as a partnership with you. And I hope you've been able to count on this board as you grapple with those budget situations that Supervisor Smallcombe talks about. We have really appreciated that partnership through as many challenges as this county's had in quite a few years, and actually done pretty well with it. So I hope it's all on an uphill swing right now, and we very much look forward to your tenure. So at that point, if there's no other comments, I would invite board action. Supervisor Jones.
You know, it's with great gratitude and thankfulness that we have such a great candidate, and I would move that, we appoint Jeremy Briese as the new, sheriff.
The motion needs to include an effective date, please.
And the effective
December 29th, 2020.
date would be December 29th,
2020.
2020.
Supervisor Long.
And looking at the great future of our sheriff of Mariposa County, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, I will call for the roll call vote. Supervisor Jones.
Aye.
Supervisor Smallman.
I'll say aye, and I'll say I'm looking forward to the continued partnership that Supervisor Karen spoke about.
Supervisor Long.
Aye.
And Supervisor Magistrate.
Enthusiastic aye.
Supervisor Can is aye. Motion passes